Hello, I am Dr. Linda Sarah Hagedorn, and I am the American Director of the American Cultural Center at Hagedorn Normal University, as well as the Associate Dean and a Professor at Iowa State University in the USA. I'm very pleased to be a participant in the first Bald Eagle and Panda Conference. This slide represents the entire American school system beginning from age 3. The green at the top represents the higher education system. As you can see, there are various options within the system. But overall, almost all students are enrolled in formal schooling by age 5. We call that first experience kindergarten. They begin their elementary school at about age 6. Elementary school is followed by junior high school that can be 2 or 3 years in length. Well, that leads to high school. And generally, high school is 4 years, and students graduate at age 17 or 18. Not all students progress to college, and as I will discuss later, there are various types of colleges or universities that students can attend. In the United States, we use the term higher education to be the formal education after high school. We also use the term post-secondary when discussing higher education. The study leading to the bachelor's degree is known as undergraduate education. That's those first 4 years of college. Some students will stay at college or study anew at college to enter graduate education. And study beyond the bachelor's degree is known as graduate school or postgraduate education. There is advanced or graduate degrees that include degrees in law, medicine, an MBA, which is a Master in Business Administration, and of course the PhD or doctorate, the Doctorate of Philosophy. The U.S. has a large number of post-secondary institutions, over 7,000, but not all of them grant degrees. We have both 2-year and 4-year colleges and universities. Besides the length of time, there are other differences between these two types of institutions that I will discuss later. Basically, higher education can be divided into 3 types of institutions. We have state colleges, private colleges, and community colleges. Starting with the state colleges, these are supported and run by the state or local government. For American citizens, part of the tuition is covered through tax money. Each of the 50 United States operates at least one state university and probably several state colleges. The second category are private colleges or universities. These are operated privately. They generally have higher tuition than the state schools. There are also some private colleges that are proprietary, meaning that they're for profit, while other private universities are not for profit. The third category is called community college. Now, community colleges are very unique in the United States and very, very popular. There's about 12 million students in the United States who go to community colleges. The community colleges are 2-year institutions, and they offer a degree called the associate's degree. Now, many students will go to community college for 2 years and maybe get their associate's degree and then transfer or then begin to go to one of the 4-year universities to get a bachelor's degree. Community colleges also offer vocational degrees. So students that are interested in perhaps being a plumber or a welder or a cosmetologist can go to community colleges as well and get that type of vocational education. Now, international students also attend community colleges, and they do so because often colleges like these have large English as second language programs and may offer intensive English programs. The school calendar usually begins in August or September and continues through May or June. Typically, the year is divided into 2 parts. We call those semesters. Most universities and colleges also include summer instruction, and they call that the summer semester. Other schools use a 3-term calendar, and that's called the trimester system. And still others will divide the year into 4 parts, and they call that quarter terms. I bet you're wondering, how much does higher education cost in the U.S.? Well, it's probably not a surprise. Higher education is very expensive. If you're going to go to a public school, a 4-year public school, it's going to cost close to $21,000 a year. And if you're going to go to a private 4-year institution, wow, that's going to cost a lot more. Closer to $41,418 every year. Now, many students will have a reduction in the cost by first attending a 2-year college. A public 2-year, which is probably the least expensive of all the options, costs about $12,823 every year. Remember, you can go 2 years to a community college, the 2-year, and then go to the 4-year and finish your bachelor's degree. Now you might wonder, how do American students afford such high costs? Well, the answer is that many of them do struggle. In addition to working perhaps part-time or getting help from their parents, many students will get grants or scholarships, but probably most important, many students have to take out loans, and these are loans that have to be paid back after they graduate. Those students who graduate with a bachelor's degree, they may choose to do additional study and get a graduate degree, and this may be necessary to find a professional job. Well, basically there are 2 types of graduate degrees, the master's and the doctorate. The master's is generally 1 or 2 years of full-time study, where the doctorate is between 3 and 8 years of education beyond the master's. For a doctorate, a doctoral dissertation is generally required, and that consists of original research. There are many different options in graduate school. There are professional schools that include dental schools, medical schools, veterinarian schools, law schools, and business schools. The general different types of master programs include the MA, or the Master of Arts, the MS, the Master of Science, the MED, the Master of Education, the MBA, the Master of Business Administration, the MSW, the Master of Social Work, the MFA, the Master of Fine Arts, the MPH, the Master of Public Health. In doctoral programs, the 2 largest doctoral programs are the EDD, or the Doctorate of Education, and then the most popular, the PhD, which is a Doctorate of Philosophy. You might be curious on which universities attract the most international students. Well, the top prize goes to the University of Southern California, that's located in Hollywood, California. But that's followed by the University of Illinois, New York University, Purdue, Columbia, UCLA, Ohio State, University of Michigan, Michigan State, and Harvard. My university, Iowa State University, is number 33 on the list. But we're very proud of our more than 3,600 international students who come to Iowa to study. I'll tell you a little secret. Although you may think that going to California or New York or some of the very big and famous universities sounds like an attractive place to live, but sometimes it can be very expensive in those cities. And we find that our international students at Iowa State come to a very rural and quiet environment, and they're usually very satisfied with their education. But I'm sure that University of Southern California is also very proud of its graduate students and its international students as well. I know that many of you are interested in how many Chinese students we might have in the United States. Well, the number of Chinese students studying in the United States is actually quite high. There are 764,495 students total that come from all over the world who come to U.S. higher education. But 1 out of every 4 comes to us from China. So we welcome a large number of Chinese students. And as you can see on this graph, look how those green bars go higher and higher because the number of students from China continues to go up and up. So we're very proud that we have welcomed so many good students. Well, I think my time is up on this conference. It's certainly been my pleasure to present to you America's higher education system. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, you can put them in on the chat. Thank you and goodbye.